Captain America: Brave New World is shaping up to be one of the biggest flops of 2025, and insiders are already voicing their concerns. With high expectations and a lot on the line, this movie might just fall short in a way no one anticipated. But what went wrong? In this video, we're breaking down the reasons why this movie to become the biggest flop of 2025. The reshoot roller coaster. Captain America: Brave New World has quickly become the poster child for production drama, and unfortunately not in a good way. From being pushed from its initial July 2020 for release date to February 2025, to undergoing extensive reshoots, this movie is already showing signs of a troubled production. Marvel Studios reportedly had to rework entire sections after early test screenings were less than favorable, which sparked a flurry of reshoots that started in early 2024 and are expected to run until mid-2025. This constant tinkering with the story might make it feel disjointed, and the fact that such major adjustments are happening so close to the release date raises serious doubts about the movie's quality. Add to that the fact that Marvel is already on shaky ground after some underwhelming releases like Ant-Man, The Wasp: Quantumania, and The Marvels, and you've got a recipe for disaster. A movie that's had its soul stripped away by constant rewrites. Not exactly a promising prospect for audiences who want a clear and engaging narrative. Sam Wilson's character arc. Sam Wilson's evolution into Captain America is one of the most compelling arcs in the MCU. Initially introduced as a supporting character in The Winter Soldier, Sam's strong moral compass and loyalty to Steve Rogers set him apart. He wasn't just a sidekick. He was an independent hero, as seen in Civil War when he stood up to Steve himself over the Sokovia Accords. However, Sam's journey truly begins in The Falcon and The Winter Soldier. After receiving Steve's shield, Sam faces doubts about whether he's worthy of the role. As a black man inheriting the mantle of Captain America, Sam is not only battling personal insecurities but also the weight of America's racial history. His journey is about finding his own identity as Cap, realizing that being Captain America isn't about replicating Steve Rogers but redefining what the symbol stands for in the modern world. In the end, Sam takes up the shield, not as a replacement for Steve, but as a symbol of hope and justice for everyone, embracing his own version of heroism. However, his story doesn't end there. His arc isn't just about physical battles, but emotional and mental growth, making his journey one of the most relatable and grounded in the MCU. If Brave New World stays true to this depth, Sam's transition into Captain America could be one of the franchise's most powerful stories. The Steve Rogers replaced dilemma. The big elephant in the room with Captain America: Brave New World is the question of Steve Rogers. With Chris Evans officially stepping away from the role, the question remains who can fill the shoes of one of the most beloved characters in cinematic history? While Sam Wilson Anthony Mackie is taking up the shield, the specter of Steve Rogers looms large, and the film will have to address his absence in some significant way. The problem is, Steve Rogers is irreplaceable. Many fans felt that Evans brought in authenticity, depth, and moral clarity to the character that made him stand out in a sea of superheroes. His departure, after the emotional arc in Avengers Endgame, left many fans feeling that the character's story had been completed in a perfect, satisfying way. Trying to bring him back, even in a small capacity, feels like a desperate attempt to recapture the magic of the past. Replacing such an iconic role risks alienating the very audience it's trying to please. No actor, no matter how talented, can replace Evans in the role without drawing comparisons that will almost certainly be unfavorable. If Marvel goes the route of rep Steve Rogers, it could easily feel like an unnecessary cash grab. The villain problem. Every great superhero movie needs a strong villain. Unfortunately, Captain America: Brave New World may have the same problem that has plagued many recent Marvel films: the lack of a memorable and menacing antagonist. It seems like Marvel has been struggling to craft compelling villains ever since Thanos was written off in Avengers Endgame. From Black Widow's Taskmaster to Shang Tsung's Wenwu, many of the recent MCU villains have felt like weak, one-dimensional characters that just don't stack up to the iconic antagonists of past phases. There's a lot of speculation that the film will feature the leader, aka Samuel Stearns, a character with potential but who has yet to truly make an impact in the MCU. If this is the direction they're heading, they're in serious trouble. A weak villain will turn the movie into a one-note, forgettable experience, making it harder for the audience to invest in the stakes or feel any real tension. Without a strong villain, the emotional investment in Sam's journey as the new Captain America could fall flat. The Sabra saga. In a move that seemed like a potential minefield, Marvel Studios decided to introduce the character of Sabra, a superhero with a highly contentious background tied to Israel's military. Originally portrayed as an Israeli Mossad agent, the film's iteration of Sabra has been altered significantly, sparking controversy across political lines. Her transformation into a high-ranking U.S. government official has drawn sharp criticism from both sides of the geopolitical debate. Pro-Israel fans feel the character's original Israeli identity is being erased, while pro-Palestinian voices are disturbed by her history as an agent in the Israeli military, a role that's already seen its fair share of criticism. The backlash from these communities is likely to overshadow any positive aspects of the film. The CGI overload. One of the most contentious issues surrounding Captain America: Brave New World is the potential over-reliance on CGI. Marvel has been notorious for leaning heavily on computer-generated imagery to craft epic battles, world building, and character transformations. While CGI can enhance a film, there's a fine line between using it as a tool and letting it dominate the entire experience. Recent Marvel films, such as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, have faced criticism for excessive CGI that felt overly artificial and disconnected from the emotional stakes. In Brave New World, with its potential for larger-than-life action sequences, there's a fear that the film will prioritize spectacle over substance, leaving audiences disengaged. Fans are growing tired of CGI-heavy action scenes that don't feel grounded in reality, and Captain America fans in particular are hoping for a more intimate, character-driven story. The problem with CGI isn't just a visual overload. It's that it can make the stakes feel hollow when characters seem to be fighting in a digital vacuum. If the film leans too much on flashy effects and fails to deliver on emotional depth or real-world grit. The identity crisis. One of the biggest issues plaguing Captain America: Brave New World is the film's apparent identity crisis. The question that keeps circulating is, what exactly is this movie trying to be? The introduction of Sam Wilson as the new Captain America was a big moment, one that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier tried to navigate. But that series felt like it was still trying to find its footing with its themes and character development. The shift from Steve Rogers to Sam is a monumental one. Yet instead of focusing on that powerful narrative, the movie seems to be trying to juggle too many things at once. So there you have it. The reasons why Captain America: Brave New World could very well be Marvel's biggest disaster in 2025. It's tough to ignore the glaring issues this movie is already facing, and unless something drastic changes, it might just be a huge flop that fans can't recover from. But hey, maybe Marvel will surprise us. Or maybe not. What do you think?